Hello, today is the 24th of June 2023, and we'll talk about several architects today. I will begin with Lilly Reich, born in 1885 and died in 1947. Let's read a little bit about her. So Lilly Reich, born the 16th of June 1885 and died in December 1947, was a German designer of textiles, furniture, interiors, and exhibition spaces. She was a close collaborator with of Ludwig Mies van der Rohe for more than 10 years during the Weimar period in the 1920s and the early 1930s. Reich was an important figure in the early modern movement in architecture and design. Her fame was posthumous, as the significance of her contribution to the work of Mies van der Rohe and others with whom she collaborated only became clear through the research of later historians of the field. Reich was born in Berlin on June 16, 1985. She was 2 years older than Le Corbusier. In 1908, she put her embroidery training. So this is very important. She started in the field of textiles, fabrics, embroideries, training to use when she went to Vienna to work for the Vienna workshop of Joseph Hoffmann, a visual arts production company of designers, artists, and architects. Joseph Hoffmann was a very important Austrian architect and designer. She returned to Berlin by 1911. There she began to design furniture and clothing. She also worked as a shop window decorator at this time. The following year, she joined the Deutsche Werkbund, or German Work Federation, a group similar to the Vienna workshop, whose purpose was to help improve competitiveness of German companies in the global market. That year, she designed a sample working class flat in Berlin, Gewerkschaftshaus, or trade union house. It received much praise for the clarity and functionalism of the furnishings. She contributed work to the Werkbund exhibition in Cologne in Germany in 1914, and in 1920 Lilly became the first woman elected to the governing board of the Deutsche Werkbund. From 1924 to 1926, she worked at the Messement or Trade Fair office in Frankfurt am Main. There, she was in charge of organizing and designing trade fairs. It was there that she met Ludwig Mies van der Rohe, vice president of the Deutsche Werkbund. This sparked a period of involvement of furniture for van der Rohe in, well, seems to be a translation from another language, maybe German into English. It's not perfect, but that's how I took it from Wikipedia. So she became a collaborator of Mies van der Rohe on many projects from that time on. In 1927, the two worked on the Wohnung in Stuttgart for the Werkbund. She designed many interiors for this exhibition, including living space in mirror glass. During her career, she designed some store windows, exhibition displays, and fashion. In 1929, she became the artistic director for the German contribution to the Barcelona World Exposition, where Mies van der Rohe designed his world-famous pavilion. This is where the famous Barcelona chair made its first appearance. This pavilion was considered the highlight of the design effort. So the Barcelona pavilion, it seems, was designed by both Mies van der Rohe and Lilly Reich. And so was the furniture, the famous Barcelona chair that was built on the occasion of building that pavilion. In 1932, Reich was asked by Mies van der Rohe to teach at the Bauhaus and direct the interior design workshop. At that time, Mies van der Rohe was the director of the Bauhaus. Her tenure was short-lived, as the Bauhaus was closed in 1933 by the Nazis, who referred to it as an Oriental palace and synagogue filled with Bolsheviks and cultural Marxists dedicated to degenerate art. This is how the Nazis thought of the Bauhaus. After the Second World War, she briefly taught at the Universität der Künste in Berlin, University of Art, but was forced to resign due to ill health. She died 2 years later in 1947 in Berlin. There are streets named after Lilly Reich in the German cities of Munich, Hildesheim, and Ingolstadt. So there are books about her, Lilly Reich, designer and architect. This is one of them, published by the Museum of Modern Art in New York. Or this one, Ludwig Mies van der Rohe and Lilly Reich, furniture and interiors. This chair apparently was designed by her, or at least in cooperation with Mies van der Rohe, Ludwig Mies van der Rohe. And it must be said that apparently before he met Lilly Reich, Mies van der Rohe didn't design furniture, and after they broke up, also he kind of stopped designing furniture. So it appears that Lilly Reich had an important contribution in the production and the design, the creation of important pieces of furniture signed by Mies van der Rohe, but they should have been designed by both, if not mainly by Lilly Reich. I will show some pictures of Lilly Reich. Here is one of them. Here they are, Mies on the right, Lilly Reich on the left. Maybe not the most flattering picture of her, but there are others where she asserts herself as an interesting person and obviously a very talented and dedicated designer and architect. Here they are, perhaps on the ship towards America, either going towards America or returning from America. Anyway, they are on the ship. And here there is a composite poster, showing both of them with a famous Barcelona chair in the center at the top, that apparently she had a very significant role in the creation of. Here she is, as a younger person sitting on a chair designed, I don't know about by whom, or maybe by herself. Anyway, some drawings by Lilly Reich. Well, what happened was in 1933 or 1934, Mies left Europe, left Germany, and went to the United States. Well, because the Nazis closed the Bauhaus. He went to teach in Chicago, and Lilly Reich herself crossed the ocean a little bit later, but then she returned to Germany, to Berlin, and then the war came and her studio was destroyed. Also, it has to be said that she took care of the archive of the works of Mies van der Rohe and Lilly Reich, and also the archive of very, very rich archive with the drawings and projects of Mies van der Rohe in Germany. So it is thanks to her that many of the works done by Mies van der Rohe were saved. A very generous lady. So these are drawings by Lilly Reich. And I think it's important to remember creators like her, because history is not always very objective. There are important creators whose names are forgotten or neglected, and I think it is important to be just and to acknowledge their presence in the culture, in the architectural culture of the world. Apparently, the Mies van der Rohe Foundation launched in 2019, if I remember correctly, a prize for called the Mies van der Rohe or the Lilly Reich prize of equity in architecture, and I think it's based on I mean, it's addressing particularly the research work about Lilly Reich. From what I read, it seems that Miss van der Rohe never forgave himself that he didn't bring Lilly Reich to the United States together with him, saving her a lot of troubles because of the Second World War. Well, anyway, entanglements between the personal life and the professional life. So, drawings by Lilly Reich. This is a work she did together with Miss van der Rohe, the Women's Fashion Exhibition in Berlin in 1927, the Velvet and Silk Cafe, quite modern for the time. As we read, she was very involved in, in textiles works, in embroideries, in shop windows, in fashion, and so on. So she was the right person for this kind of job. And here is the plan of this cafe. It's almost as if we see some glimpses into. Actually, it is very possible that she had a great influence on Miss van der Rohe, because the truth of the matter is the early works of Miss van der Rohe were very different from works that he did after he met her. This is the model of the for this cafe that they built together. Now I show the Barcelona chair, a famous chair that was built, conceived and built on the occasion of building the Barcelona pavilion for Germany in Barcelona. The one that stands now, it is a recreation. It was rebuilt, that pavilion, which can be seen these days in Barcelona. This is the chair that something that she had a major role in creating, the Barcelona chair, assigned initially to Miss van der Rohe, but Lilly Reich had an important role in its creation. It's very elegant and very subtly modern. The Barcelona chair, Lilly Reich and Miss van der Rohe. And here is a picture of this famous chair inside the Barcelona pavilion. You see glimpses of the ornamentation that is present in this famous work of modern minimalism, if we are to call it so. We see clearly that Miss van der Rohe, or maybe Miss van der Rohe and Lilly Reich, they employed a very, very rich marble, very ornamental. You can see there, and also inside the pavilion, there is an example of this very, very ornamental marble that they used. So I say this because modernism, even in its most extreme forms, and even in the case of some very famous modern architects, like in this case, didn't reject ornament. And this is just one example. Here is a book about her on the occasion of the centennial, the Bauhaus centennial, bearing her name there. And as you see, the Barcelona chair is there shown. So it's possible, it's very possible that this chair was actually her creation. Here she is again with two chairs, the Barcelona chair on the bottom, and the Brno chair that apparently she also authored. Another famous chair, initially attributed to Miss van der Rohe.